I was in Florida recently. I don't like Florida at all. That's a state full of people. That's what I think. I hate Florida.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Florida has become a national joke, and they just keep feeding us story after story to make fun of them over. And I'm all for a good laugh at the expense of the Sunshine State, but it kind of stops being funny when they start killing kids and use a willful ignorance of science to justify it all, especially when it's coming from the top doctor in the state who went on CNN today and did an interview that everybody is talking about, and not in a good way. So hit subscribe to Really American Media and let's dissect it all like a good scientist should. Or if you're a man of science in Florida, like their Surgeon General, Dr. Joseph Ladapo, you apparently just go with your political beliefs. Because this week, he announced that Florida would stop all vaccine mandates, including for kids in public schools. And this doctor, who is a black man, had the nerve to make this comparison.
What did he compare giving your kid a life-saving measles shot to? What did he compare vaccination to?
I don't know this news story, but if the answer is slavery, I'll kill us all.
Play the clip. All vaccine mandates in Florida law. All of them. All of them. Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery.
Yeah, it would be funny if it wasn't true, but here we are. And in case you don't know where this dismissive attitude towards vaccines is coming from, allow me to share the views of the man who is in charge of your health, not just for Florida, but for the entire fucking country.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Yeah, that's our Secretary of Health and Human Services, spreading misinformation, also known as lies. And our dear leader, Donald Trump, put him in that position because RFK Jr. dropped out of the 2024 race and threw a few votes over Trump's way. So now Donnie is letting RFK throw decades of established science right out the window.
Today, more than 1,000 current and former employees of the Department of Health and Human Services are calling on Secretary Kennedy to resign for actions they say compromise the health of the nation.
Yeah, but RFK won't quit and Trump won't fire him because that would mean he made a mistake and he'll never admit to that, even if it means, a few kids die. So, the Surgeon General of Florida went on CNN today, and Jake Tapper started off with the obvious question. Since you're a doctor, surely you analyze the data on all of this, right?
Before you made this decision to try to lift vaccine mandates for Florida, which include obviously public schools, did your department do any data analysis? Did you do any data projection of how many new cases of these diseases there will be in Florida once you remove vaccine mandates?
Absolutely. So absolutely not. In terms of, analysis, well, ultimately, this is an issue very clearly of parents' rights. So do I need to analyze whether it's appropriate for parents to be able to decide what goes into their children's bodies? I don't need to do an analysis on that.
Yeah, you heard it right. He arrogantly says that he absolutely doesn't need to analyze data because he's working from a place of ideology, one that says that all parents have rights. Well, I'm a parent. What about my right to send my kid to a public school knowing that the school is following the established science that vaccines save lives and would keep my kids safe? Otherwise, I think I have the right to send them to a private school or homeschool them.
You're trying to lift the vaccine mandate in Florida, and your department and you did not even do a projection as to how this could impact public health. So you have not prepared hospitals in the Florida counties most at risk with the best treatments for any outbreaks of measles, mumps, rubella, whooping cough, polio, and you have not looked into how many kids might now get these preventable diseases? That's what you're saying?
No, that's what you said. What I'm saying is that it's an issue of right and wrong in terms of whether parents should be able to have ultimate authority over what happens to their kids' bodies.
I see. It should be up to the parents to control what goes in their kids' bodies. Well, then why do we have an FDA to assure the drugs are safe? Why do we have an EPA to make sure your drinking water is safe? Why order a recall on tainted food? Why require everybody to wear seatbelts? Just because the data says that it saves lives? I mean, shouldn't we all be able to kill ourselves if that's what we want? And therefore, I should be able to kill my kids and put your kids in harm's way. This is America, after all. It's not like we all have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If we did, I'm pretty sure they put that in the Declaration of Independence. Wait, what? Oh, I'm being told it is in there. Well, this just got awkward.
But you're talking about doing something that no other state in the United States has done and removing the vaccine mandate for public schools. You're making a decision that no other Surgeon General in the United States has done. It goes against what's recommended by every top medical organization, including the AMA, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Boston Center on Emerging Infectious Diseases. It goes against what parents in Florida want. 82% of parents in Florida schools said public schools should require vaccines for measles and polio with health and religious exemptions. It goes against what Senator Rick Scott, a Republican from Florida, wants. He thinks sticking with a religious exemption is fine. It goes against the Florida Medical Association, which in the past has backed Governor DeSantis. So all of these people are wrong, and you are right.
Again, sort of casting it in that way is not what I would do, is not how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm sure this isn't how you'd cast it, since it makes you look like a fool and somebody who is clearly wrong. And BT Dubs, you could add Trump himself to the list of people that think this is a bad idea.
Well, I think we have to be very careful. Look, you have some vaccines that are so amazing. The polio vaccine, I happen to think, is amazing. A lot of people think that COVID is amazing. You know, there are many people that believe strongly in that. But you have some vaccines that are so incredible. And I think you have to be very careful when you say that some people don't have to be vaccinated. It's a very tough position.
Good grief. So when even Trump thinks it's a bad idea, along with the majority of parents in your state, your senator, and the American Medical Association, please, good doctor, keep shoving that foot further down your throat.
In this particular area, this is really just about, it's really about ethics. I mean, is it appropriate for a government to, or any other entity, to dictate to you what you should put in your body? No, it's absolutely not appropriate. You have sovereignty over your body. I mean, that's where it starts.
Okay, full stop. Did he actually just say that we all have sovereignty over our own bodies? I mean, sometimes they make it a little too easy to point out their hypocrisy. You know where I'm going with this, right? Let's talk about my body, my choice when it comes to abortion. So unless this doctor is a flaming hypocrite, he's got to be pro-choice, right?
New this morning, the Florida Department of Health is barred from intimidating local television stations for airing a pro-abortion rights ad.
A federal judge sided with stations after the state surgeon general threatened to bring some criminal charges against broadcasters.
I mean, seriously, you cannot make this level of hypocrisy up. I think my favorite reaction to all of this came from the category of politics makes strange bedfellows, as notorious conservative and all-around hot bag of air Bill O'Reilly was on Chris Cuomo's show, and Chris played the clip of the Florida Surgeon General talking about ending the vaccine mandates. And this was O'Reilly's response.
The guy's a loon. That's the explanation. He's crazy. Who was that guy?
He's the head of health for Florida, the state of Florida.
Oh, man. Look, measles, you got to have mandatory vaccination, polio. But for a guy to say, hey, we're not going to require you to be vaccinated against measles, when that is a killer for children. I mean, this guy, I don't know what he's doing. I'm just flummoxed.
Yeah, I think we're all flummoxed over this, assuming that flummoxed means outraged to the point of nausea verging on a fucking civil war. It's good times, America. Good times. Please like this video, comment below, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.